Hello, Queen. Today, we're going to talk about one of the biggest topics many of us women struggle with, something that affects us deeply, but isn't always talked about in a way that truly understands us. Let's open our hearts, share our experiences, and have an honest conversation about what it really means to be a woman. Let's talk about your money era. Not the one where you finally have a lot of it, the one before that. The one where your relationship with money actually changes, where you stop avoiding your bank account, stop feeling anxious every time you check it, and start treating money like something you understand and manage instead of something that just happens to you. Because here's the truth, financial freedom was never really about the number. It's about the relationship underneath it, the mindset, the skills, the habits, and the sense of independence that determine what you do with every dollar that passes through your hands. Today, we're talking about the money era that actually lasts: financial mindset, learning the skills nobody taught you, saving, creating opportunities, and becoming financially independent. Not overnight, not through some overnight trick, through a shift that starts in your head, long before it shows up in your account. Let's start with mindset, because your relationship with money was shaped long before you ever earned a paycheck. Most of us inherited our money mindset without ever choosing it. Maybe you grew up watching money be a source of stress, arguments, secrecy. Maybe you learned that talking about money is impolite, or that wanting more of it makes you greedy. Maybe you learned to associate spending with guilt, or saving with deprivation. None of that was your fault, but all of it is now your responsibility to examine. Here's the first shift. Money is not the enemy, and wanting more of it doesn't make you shallow. Money is simply a tool, a resource that gives you options, security, and freedom. The more honestly you can look at it, the more power you have over it, instead of it quietly having power over you. A lot of people avoid their finances because looking feels scarier than not looking. Not checking the account, not opening the statement, not doing the math. It feels safer in the moment. But avoidance doesn't protect you. It just delays information you'll eventually need, usually at a worse time than now. So the mindset shift starts with honesty. Look at the number, whatever it is. Not to judge yourself, but to finally know where you're actually starting from, instead of where you're afraid you might be. And here's something important. Your current financial situation is not a reflection of your worth. It's a reflection of your starting point, your circumstances, and the financial education you were or weren't given. You can be intelligent, hardworking, and deeply capable, and still be behind, simply because nobody ever taught you the rules of this game. Which brings us to the next part. Let's talk about learning the skills nobody taught you, because financial literacy was never optional. It was just never offered.
Most of us left school knowing how to calculate the area of a triangle, but not how interest compounds, not how credit scores work, not how to read a pay stub, or what the difference actually is between a Roth account and a traditional one. That's not a personal failure. That's a systemic gap. But closing that gap is now on you, because nobody's coming to close it for you. The good news is financial literacy isn't complicated once someone finally explains it in plain language. It's a learnable skill, exactly like anything else. Cooking, driving, a new language. You weren't born knowing it, and you're not behind for not knowing it yet. You're just at the beginning of learning it. Start small. Learn what a budget actually is. Not a restriction, but a plan that tells your money where to go, instead of wondering where it went. Learn the basics of interest, because it either works for you in savings and investments, or against you in debt. And understanding the difference changes how you make decisions. Learn what your credit score actually measures, and how it quietly affects rent, loans, even some jobs. Learn the difference between an asset, something that puts money in your pocket, and a liability, something that takes money out. None of this requires a finance degree. It requires curiosity and a willingness to ask questions you might feel embarrassed not to already know the answer to. There is no embarrassment in learning something late. The only real cost is refusing to learn it at all. Now let's talk about saving, because this is where mindset and skill actually turn into momentum. Saving isn't about being able to set aside huge amounts. It's about becoming someone who saves, consistently, regardless of the amount. The identity comes first. The big numbers come later.
Here's what saving actually builds, beyond the money itself. It builds proof that you can trust yourself with resources. Every time you set money aside instead of spending it impulsively, you're reinforcing the belief that you're capable of managing what you have. That trust compounds, just like interest does. Start absurdly small if you have to. Save an amount that feels almost too easy to skip. The goal in the beginning isn't the amount, it's the consistency and the identity shift that comes from becoming a person who saves, rather than a person who intends to save someday. And give yourself a reason beyond just having money in an account. An emergency fund isn't just numbers. It's the ability to leave a job that isn't good for you. It's not panicking when your car breaks down. It's turning down an opportunity that isn't right because you're not desperate. Savings aren't just financial. They're a form of freedom. Freedom to make decisions from a place of stability instead of fear. Which brings us to creating opportunities, because financial growth was never only about spending less. It's also about expanding what's coming in. At a certain point, saving alone has limits. You can only cut so much, but there's no ceiling on what you can learn to earn. Creating opportunities means actively looking for ways to grow your income, your skills, and your value, instead of assuming your current paycheck is the only one available to you. That might mean learning a skill that's in demand and monetizing it. It might mean asking for the raise you've been quietly hoping someone would offer you first. It might mean starting something small on the side, even imperfectly, even before it feels like a real business. It might mean simply paying attention to opportunities you've been overlooking because you didn't believe they were available to someone like you. Creating opportunities requires a mindset shift too, from waiting to be chosen to positioning yourself to be seen, from assuming you need permission to understanding most financial growth comes from people who decided to try before they felt fully ready or fully qualified.
You don't need to have it all figured out to start. You need to start paying attention to the gap between where you are financially and where you'd like to be, and start asking what one small action might close that gap even slightly. Which brings us to the foundation underneath all of this, becoming financially independent. Financial independence isn't about being wealthy. It's about reaching a point where your decisions aren't controlled by financial fear or financial dependence on someone else. It's not needing to stay somewhere, a job, a relationship, a situation, purely because you can't afford to leave. Independence starts small, and it starts internally. It's knowing your own numbers instead of depending on someone else to manage them for you. It's understanding your own expenses, your own debt, your own income, well enough that you're never in the dark about your own financial life. It's making decisions based on your own goals instead of what looks impressive to other people. Financial independence also means unlearning the idea that needing money to feel secure is somehow selfish or unfeminine. Wanting financial stability isn't greed. It's self-respect applied to your future. You deserve to build a life where your choices come from possibility, not desperation. So let's bring this all together, because these 5 pieces build on each other, the same way they did with mindset, habits, and self-respect in the last episode. Mindset gives you the honest starting point and the belief that your relationship with money can actually change. Learning the skills fills the gaps nobody taught you and turns confusion into competence. Saving builds proof and momentum, one small, consistent deposit at a time. Creating opportunities expands what's possible instead of only shrinking what you spend. And financial independence protects all of it, so your decisions come from choice, not fear. This is the money era nobody glamorizes. It's not flashy, it's not a lump sum windfall or a lucky break. It's opening the account you've been avoiding. It's asking the question you felt embarrassed to ask. It's saving the small amount that feels too small to matter, until one day it doesn't feel small anymore. Nobody claps when you finally make a budget, or say no to an impulse purchase, or read one article about how compound interest actually works. But that's exactly why it works. It's not built for applause. It's built for the version of you who no longer feels powerless around money. So if you're looking for permission to start, this is it. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need a finance degree, a 6-figure income, or a perfect plan. You need to start looking honestly at where you are and take one small action from there. Open the account today. Learn one thing about money you didn't understand yesterday. Save whatever amount feels manageable, even if it's small. That's it. That's the beginning of your money era. Not a single transformation, but a long collection of small, informed decisions that finally put you in control. If this resonated with you, let me know in the comments. Which part are you starting with? Your mindset, learning the skills, saving, creating opportunities, or independence? I'd love to know where you're beginning.
Subscribe if you're ready to keep building this with me, because your money era is just getting started, and there's a lot more we're going to build together. I'll see you in the next video.